You know, my body might be a temple, it just has some stained glass. Hey guys, it's Kat. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I guess that's my new intro, because it just seems the most welcoming. Okay, today we are going to be talking about tattoos. Tattoo regrets, tattoo advice. I have 5, working on 6. That one will be coming up soon. First thing, pick a tattoo you won't regret later in life. 2, think through the tattoo. Don't just get it impulsively, because sometimes that doesn't always work out. I actually got this one impulsively, and I think it's my favorite one. But I don't think that happens all that much. I actually thought it through a lot. I just got it impulsively, like, pretty quick. Like, thought of it the night before. I had already scheduled the appointment to, like, talk about it and get it drawn up. You just don't want to get a tattoo that you're going to end up regretting. Like, it's permanent. Like, that's obvious. It's permanent. I guess there's, like, some that aren't. But I'm talking about the permanent ones. And you don't want to have something on your body that, like, there's tattoo removal, but that's expensive, and that probably hurts. I just wouldn't recommend getting a tattoo if you were thinking about, like, eventually getting it removed. But you do you. Just would not personally do that. I have another tattoo I got impulsively, and I don't love it, to say the least. So it's the one on my leg, which I'll probably post my tattoo story before this goes up, and I'll link it in the eye. But I got it impulsively. I actually got 2 out of the 5 of them impulsively. And the one I didn't like at first, but I ended up loving it. Like, the more I got, I think it just looked awkward getting it just that one. I have one, like, on my shoulder, but it just looked weird not having more. And it, like, goes with my mom's. So I don't know, I like them now, but I don't know, I didn't before. I liked hers better than mine. She liked mine better than hers. It was just, it was mainly the tattoo artist, which we'll get into in a minute. Same with the one on my leg. It was not what I wanted at all whatsoever. To be honest, it's still not really, like, a me tattoo. It doesn't look anything like anything I would want. I don't regret it, though, because one that taught me a real good lesson. It was the second one this guy did, and the last one. The only reason I actually like it, other than the lesson part, is because it looks cool. It's more of the art of it than, like, the meaning, because the meaning behind it, I just don't feel like it was portrayed the way I wanted it to be portrayed. Like, it just doesn't have the same feel, if that makes sense. Like, I have a certain aesthetic I like, and it's not my kind of art, but, like, I can appreciate the beauty in it, and I had to kind of learn to love it. I loved it at first because, like, oh, it's so cool, I got tattoos. Because, like, I think I was 15 when I got my first one, and you're supposed to be 16 when you do. So I thought it was cool. It wasn't that cool. No one really cared. Next thing, we're going to talk about artists. Pick a trustworthy artist. Make sure you look at their portfolio and, like, make sure you like their vibe. Make sure their art is your kind of art that you're wanting on your body, because, again, it is very permanent, unless you get tattoo removal, and then you still have scars, and sometimes it doesn't take it all away. And then make sure you're comfortable with your artist, because my problem with this artist that I had do my first tattoos was I couldn't really talk to him, and he just seemed very, like, he was intimidating, I guess. Like, he's kind of a chill guy, he's funny, but, like, not someone I'm comfortable with. And when something's permanent on your body, like, you need to make sure it's getting done the way you want it. Because I didn't like the way he did it, but it, like, he had already changed it a few times, and I had already, like, backed out of another tattoo because, you know, I was getting a lot way too quick because I was, like, getting, like, tattoo happy. Tattoos also can be very addicting to get. I've heard that from a lot of people, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that. And that definitely was the case for me. Well, not as much so since I've had a kid, because I don't have that extra cash laying around. But just make sure you're comfortable with your artist. Like, meet with them before. Make sure you like their vibe. Make sure you like the vibe of their work. Make sure they can thoroughly do what you're wanting. And don't let them do a tattoo on you that is not what you want. That sounds like common sense, but, like, especially when they're doing it, I should have just waited until I was 16 and could go to anybody. Sometimes you have to be 18 for some of them. I think. The only one I got after 18 was this one. Like, that was the first time I could sign for myself. So, I don't know if all tattoo places will do it at 16 or not. I got my belly button pierced at 13. Would not recommend the belly button piercing if there's any, like, type of stretch marks that run in your family and you plan on getting pregnant. Or think that's ever an option for you. Also, I honestly would recommend making sure your artist is, like, professional. Not just, like, a professional artist, but I mean, like, their personality is professional. Like, they're timely, responsible, you know, all the, like, type of, you know, like a professional, like, business person, even though they're not, like, the way they dress or things like that, but just, like, how they are. So that was another thing with that artist, like, I just didn't get the professional vibe from him, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to bash him because, like, he's cool as a guy, but, like, just not my type of person. And I just feel that that's super important when it comes to tattoos. Like, they don't have to be able to be your best friend, but, like, that you're comfortable enough with being honest if you like something, if you're okay with, like, where it's going to be, how it's going to be. Actually, I think that happened with most of my tattoos. I originally only wanted to go to guy tattoo artists, and once I switched to, like, female tattoo artists, it was so much better. I wasn't, like, loyal to one person, though, just because I couldn't find the one that, like, I liked. I ended up finding one, and then we moved, so then I had to find a new one, and I actually really like the person I go to now, and she did this one, and she's doing my next one. Her personality is just, like, someone I can vibe with, which is another thing. If you're getting, like, a big tattoo and it's going to take a while, you might want someone to talk to, if you're the type of person that can talk through it. For me, like, the painful areas, I couldn't talk during them. Like, the one on my ankle, it wasn't even painful, but it was just, like, really uncomfortable, and, like, it was hard to keep my foot from shaking. This is probably common sense, but make sure their equipment and everything is, like, completely sanitary. Make sure they go through all the steps of making sure it's clean and that it's, like, high quality, because sometimes, like, they just don't use the highest quality of ink. Once you pick your tattoo, you pick the artist, you gotta figure out where you want it. You might want to do that before, you know, do this in whatever order you so choose. But for me, how I tested locations, so for my arm, like, what I did was, like, I, like, poked it. Like, I have nails, too. This is gonna sound kind of silly, but, like, or take, like, a pencil, like the mechanical ones, and, like, push a lead in, make sure the lead's not out, and, like, kind of, like, poke yourself. And if it's, like, a tickly area, that's probably gonna hurt. If it's just, like, in general, like, a sensitive owie area, that's probably gonna hurt. Like, it should be able to tell you how bad it's gonna hurt. Like, I originally wanted one on my collarbone. Sorry for showing you my bra. But when I did that, I was like, ouch, no. So, just, like, I think it can help test your, like, pain tolerance. Maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe that's weird, but that's what I do to figure out the location. Also, when talking about the location, factor in any possible problem with having that tattoo, because I think the world's getting better about, you know, being, like, less judgy about tattoos and piercings, but some places are still really weird about it. And another thing, like, with the military here, I don't know if the policy has changed, but it's, like, evolved some, because you used to not be able to have, like, certain size tattoos, and, like, now it's for, like, one of the branches, I think it was Marines, but I know for, I think it's National Guard, you can't have them, or Army. Well, Army and National Guard are, like, together, I think. National Guard is part of the Army. Whatever. You can't have it on, like, your neck, face, hands, I think. And I think feet? I don't remember feet. I think it's hands and neck and face. Either way, you can't have tattoos there. So, certain locations, and also watch what you're getting that, like, that can't be offensive. Ooh, and I forgot to add this in, but make sure your tattoo adds some sort of, like, value to you. Like, whether that is appreciating the art, like I did with my thigh one, rather than the meaning that's supposed to have, but it's not what I wanted, so it doesn't have that meaning. And the problem is it's a decent sized tattoo, so, like, I don't want to get it redone somewhere else, and, like, I'm definitely not getting it, like, covered up, because I cannot imagine how hard that would be to cover up, and it'd probably hurt because you're going over scar tissue, so I would just rather leave it. But make sure it either has meaning or you appreciate, like, the art, the look of it. But in general, like, make sure it brings you some sort of joy and will continue to, because, like I said, you don't want to get something that you're going to regret later in life. Tattoos are great. I love them. I think that they're so cool. You know, my body might be a temple, it just has some stained glass. I just think it's just like a way to express yourself. Just make sure you really like think through it though, because it is permanent, and I'm going to say that until it gets stuck in your brain. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck with your potential tattoo journey, maybe. Bye.